My name's Paula. I was born on 16th of April 2003 at SAL, Santa Caterina Hospital. As I was born, my grandmother was really worried about me, and that's because I was born really pale. I think even doctors thought there was something wrong with me, but then my other grandmother told everybody not to worry about anything, because my father was born that way too. I lived in Sal for 3 months, and then my family and I moved to Caldas de Malavella. Even though I lived there, I went to Sal's kindergarten because my mother used to work at Girona and it was more comfortable for her. I used to be a crying girl. Every time I didn't see my parents, I began to cry. That made them take me to everywhere. Even when they were showering, they had to bring me to the bathroom so I could see them. In 2006, my sister, Andrea, was born. My mother swears that when I met her for the first time, my mom was feeding her, and when I saw that scenes, I thought my sister was hurting her, so I tried to separate them. I had to start going to school. My mother decided it was a good idea for me to study at Caldas because she wanted me to have friends there. It would be more comfortable for her and also for me in the future. When I was 3, at P3, I loved singing and dancing, so I used to sing this song every day, and at the end, almost everyone in my class sang it too. The same thing happened with another song, by Paulina Rubio. At the same age, my mother decided to take me to English lessons. She considered it, and still considers, knowing how to speak English, it's really important. And as when she was a child, she was so bad at it and she hated it, she didn't want me to experience that. By that time, I had been roller skating for 6 years. I really loved it. I made friends there with who I still keep in touch. Those were the same friends that went with my sister and I to a horse riding summer camp, where we learned how to ride horses, feed them, clean them, etc. When I was 10, I quit roller skating and I began volleyball. I also made some friends there. When I started high school, I didn't notice any academical changes, as I have always been a worker student. I met new people at high school because they were from the other primary school at Caldas. I liked some of them, in fact, we are still friends, but I also did hate some of them in the past. I remember a lot of things from high school. Most of them are happy and hilarious memories. I also remember complaining about the amount of homework I had, but now I realize that was the paradise. I had to do almost anything. When I was 13, I quitted English lessons because I had a good formation and I was also very fluent speaking it, so my mother agreed with me. When I was 14 years old, I had a teacher called Pilar. She was my biology teacher and I liked her a lot because she explained the lessons really well and she was very nice and funny with us. All my class found funny but at the same time annoying the fact that she was a fast teacher. And by a fast teacher, I mean the kind of teacher who explained a whole lesson in a maximum of 3 days. At that same year, I began to take hip-hop lessons at the youth center called Like a Dream. At my end of year trip, I had a really good and funny time with my friends. Even with those who I hadn't talked to during all those years, I think we all realized that was the last time we could enjoy the company of the others. Before starting my first bachelorette year, I quitted volleyball because I knew bachelorette would take me a lot of time, so I couldn't dance and practice the sport at the same time. When I started bachelorette, the whole academical situation changed due to the amount of homework I had, the amount of lessons I had to study, the amount of time that took me, and the amount of effort I had to do to find a spot during the week to spend time with my family or some of my friends. I also realized everybody around me was so exigent about my effort, my grades, and my future, especially teachers, so I really hated it. This 2020 has been a strange year, we all know it. The pandemic situation caught all of us by surprise and suddenly all of us were stuck at home, only going out to buy the essential stuff. During the lockdown, I didn't keep studying as hard as I had been doing it during all the course. But I did other things that were healthier for my mental health, such as writing, painting, and relaxing. I also had bad times, as all of us did, but you always have to find a way to deal with the situations and don't let that situations deal with you. What I learned about the lockdown is that your mental health is the most important thing, not studies, as everyone made me think during years. At my second course of bachelorette, I've been living the same situation, a huge amount of work, exams, and pressure from everyone. I'm so far away to know how to deal with that. I just like to think it will all pass by the end of the course.